Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to shift realities for real. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of you that said, Tom, I'm a new subscriber, and I'm new to this idea of creating my reality and manifesting. But I just got to ask you this question: is why is it then, if this is true about all of this stuff about manifesting and the law of attraction, why do mostly dreams don't come true? Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. Here's how I want to start off: is that's why. That very question, why do dreams never come true, is why they never come true. That kind of thinking, that kind of perception, that kind of assumption, just the mirror reality says, yes, you're right, dreams never come true. Do you hear this? Right? It's that, the third world, the 3D thinking, the world self, the 3D world will give you these typical answers. What if you ask any typical 3D coach why dreams don't come true? They go, well, you're not willing to sacrifice. No pain without gain, right? You're not willing to work hard, right? And really give up everything for that goal, for that dream, right? You give up and you quit too easily. Or your dreams are unrealistic. They're too big. You got to come down to earth, right? You got to think realistically. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not worthy enough. You're not capable enough. You didn't study enough. This is all the world. This is what the world tells you, right? You think the grass is always greener, right? Or that most dreams don't come true. Well, guys, the grass is always greener, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the green grass that you're on as well, and not explore the wonder of greener and greener and greener grass. The grass just keeps getting. We're eternal beings. The grass just keeps getting greener and greener and greener. It doesn't mean you don't like the green grass, right? So we're going to really unpack this today. I just want to say, not only are the answers just limiting bogus beliefs and assumptions, but the very question is built on false premises, on bogus premises that most dreams don't come true. You can't get an answer to that question because that's just a false premise to begin with. So really, let's unpack this. I'm here to tell you right now that all of your dreams have come true. Your old dreams, the dreams that you think, oh, those I let go of my old dreams. Well, they've already come true. They're coming true, your new dreams, and they will be coming true. The dreams that you have not dreamed of yet consciously. And I'm going to tell you how, right? All of your dreams were fulfilled, are fulfilled, and are being fulfilled, and will be being fulfilled. It's all about enjoying that journey of fulfillment, right? You're on a journey of fulfillment. That's why desire. And so hear this, right? Remember, what am I basing this on? I'm basing this on that you are infinite, and that there are an infinite number of realities. And in those infinite number of realities, those dreams, every dream you've ever had, have, or will have, is being lived out by a greater part of you, by another version of yourself. They're all coming true right now. That's why you had the dream, right? You couldn't have it unless it was being lived right now by an alternative you, right? That's why desire, that's what desire really is. It's you, hear this, your desire, you having a dream that you want to accomplish. When you have that dream, or when you have that desire, you're intersecting and overlapping with another parallel reality and version of yourself. Already experienced that reality and their fulfillment in your desire, and vice versa. Hear this. That's the spillover. That's why sometimes you feel like I have a really strong desire. That's that alternative reality. That's you intersecting and overlapping with that other you. right, who's already living it out. That's why you feel the desire. And so when we give up our dreams, thinking they're too hard, buying into the 3D thinking that you got to sacrifice, that you got to work hard, that not a dream, that most dreams don't come true, then you give up that desire, you give up that dream, and you've been overlapping in that reality the whole time. Hear this, you've been crossing over from that reality. That's why you have the desire, right? Right, because that other dimensionally larger you doesn't desire that. Why? Because that other dimensionally larger you is living out that reality. You can't desire what you already have, right? And vice versa. Maybe that dimensionally larger you desires something that you're living in your reality. But they're constantly overlapping and intersecting these alternative realities, these parallel realities, right? So I really want to hit this, right? So all dreams come true and they're being lived out right now, right? This isn't theoretical, right? I know you want to think it is. But we're infinite beings. We're infinite, we're multidimensional, and it's all happening right now. Let me unpack this a little bit more. Desire implies that you're feeling separate from that alternative version of yourself who's already experiencing it. That's how you know that that alternative version exists, because you desire something. And when you desire something, it means you're separate from it. But more than separated from your desire, you're separated from the version of yourself who's living out that desire. Hear this, a very important distinction, because a lot of times we go after the desire. We focus on the desire. We grab on and try to hold on to that desire. And that puts us in a state of lack. Instead, what you're really feeling separate from, that separation, that state of lack, is your separation from that other version of you that's already living out the desire. That's what you're feeling. You know it in your gut, in your heart, that desire is real to you. Why is it so real? Why are you feeling it? It implies that you're separate from that alternative version of yourself who's already experiencing it. Right? But here's the good news. When you can feel that separation, when you can feel that desire and feel that lack or that separation from that other reality or that other version of yourself, that means it's close by. Now, I'm not talking close by in terms of the 3D perspective, right? We think of close as in time and space. I'm talking about it's right, it is all within you. Right? You are crossing over and back and forth between that reality. That's what I mean. Right? It's within you, right? And Neville Goddard points to this, and I really want to unpack this for you today. So it's not just me, it's Neville Goddard pointing to this. Here's what he says. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe it, your refusal to believe this, is the only reason you do not see it. Neville talks about it right here. You're already that higher version, that alternative version. That's why you feel the desire. That's why you feel the separation, right? And your refusal to believe it is the reason you don't see it, the reason you don't move to that reality, right? That's what all the processes are about, to give you that experience. That's why Neville talks about the imaginal act, the imaginal scene. Because he knows that you're going to need that to feel it, right? To have the experience. But you can have the experience and claim it now. It's already existing, right? Your opinion, here's what Neville continues to say. Your opinion of yourself is your most important viewpoint. Hear this. He's talking about viewpoints. We've talked about this in prior videos. Really, it's your viewpoint. When you change your viewpoint, you change your reality. So he's talking about it here. Your opinion of yourself is your most important viewpoint. You are infinitely greater than you think you are. Again, pointing to that the infinite yous, the infinite alternative realities, the infinite versions of yourself that are already living out those other viewpoints, those other identities. He's telling you, he's encouraging you here to say that opinion of yourself, that viewpoint that you claim, that you assume, determines your reality. Right? It's your refusal to believe it is why you don't see it. And then, right here, he says, only as one is willing to give up his present limitations and identity can he become that which he desires to be. Wow. That's the principal reason why we feel stuck in our realities, is we don't want to give them up. Right? We believe it's who we are. We've identified with it. right? We have dug into our reality. But he says it here. Get the present limitations in identity. Remember, you move into a new identity. When you move into a new identity, you not only have a new future, you have a new past. You have a whole new set of beliefs and assumptions about who you are. You don't have to even go dig up those limiting beliefs because it's a new you, a new version with new beliefs, new assumptions, new future, new present, new past. You hear this, guys, the magnitude here. Neville says it here, right? Only as you're willing to give up those limitations in identity can you become that which you desire to be. Big. So your viewpoint, your identity determines your reality. The viewpoint you take, the identity that you take, right? Though they are referred to as parallel realities, they are more like this. So we think of parallel realities in parallel, right? I've even showed this with the side by side. A lot of spiritual teachers talk about them like highways that are parallel to each other. But what's really happening here? There is no space. There is no time. So those realities this is you, they more look like this, right? They're around you. Those realities are spinning around you, and that's why you're constantly going between them, because they are. Remember, your body, they're not within your body's within those realities, right? Everything's within your consciousness, right? And so those realities are your consciousness. Closer or further away is determined by how strongly you feel it. When you feel a burning desire, that means that desire is close to you. Close in terms of what? Close in terms of you realizing it. It's not in space because there is no separation in space. There's no separation in time. There's no separation, period. It's all you right there. And think about infinite number of realities spinning around you. A burning desire means that desired reality is very close. Meaning close in terms of you perceiving it. Hear this. Right? Not moving to it in sort of a physical movement, although we talk metaphysically about that, right? A metaphysical movement is a movement within. It's a movement within consciousness, right? Where that reality becomes your reality. It's just you perceiving it. Wow, that's big, right? Here's the key. You have to lose your current reality in order to identify with and enter the viewpoint of your desired reality. Hear this. Now, on previous videos, we talked about this, and we'll talk about it more on future videos. Today, I just want to start with this, that you've got to lose that current reality. You've got to let that current identity and that viewpoint go. Decide who you want to be now, right? Neville says it here. Give up your present limitations and identity. This is what we're saying here. Let's go a little deeper here, right? It is that very ability to limit yourself, hear this, and focus as a specific identity and viewpoint that gives you the power to access and occupy any number of infinite realities. Here's what I want you to know, and this is big. You see 3D reality. You see yourself as a certain identity and a certain viewpoint, and you're really focused on that. But it's that very ability to really believe that's who you are and that reality is real that gives you the ability to see other realities. We're masters of limitation. Limitation is meaning that we are part of all that is, and we limit ourselves in different ways to see a different part of all that is. Do you hear this? So your very ability to limit yourself, it's not a bad thing. Right? It's even like when we talk about limiting beliefs. I think this came up on the channel that someone said, well, you're saying those beliefs are negative. I'm not saying limiting beliefs are negative. Limiting beliefs by definition are limiting. It just means a limiting belief to each person is going to be different. One limiting belief to you, what do limiting beliefs really mean? They mean that current thinking, those current assumptions don't serve you anymore. It doesn't mean that they never served you. That's why you had them, right? You had those beliefs and assumptions for a reason, but those reasons changed, right? Now they're limiting beliefs, right? Because they limit you from experiencing or perceiving, hear this, from something else in reality. So limiting beliefs are not negative. It's not judging your beliefs. It's not about judgment or good or bad or right or wrong. That's not it. That's a 3D thinking, right? Whenever I hear this, you're judging from 3D. There's no judgment here. What limiting beliefs simply mean that they're limiting you to a perceived reality and that they no longer serve you if you want to see a different reality, if you want to be a different you. That's what we mean by limiting beliefs. All beliefs are limiting. They're all part of limitation, right? And so when your beliefs change, then you acquire different beliefs. Those do become limiting beliefs, but it's what you want to now perceive about reality. Do you hear this? Okay, so you limit yourself to focus on one part of all that is in detail. That's the idea of limitation. That's the idea of assumptions. That's the idea of moving into an identity or assumption. That's all beliefs are. That's all assumptions are, right? Is your concept of yourself and of the 3D or of the world. And once you decide that, then you occupy that. The key to all of this is to know that you're limiting yourself. And to know that's what you want to experience right now. And then when you want to experience something else, you change those beliefs. Those beliefs that you currently have now become, quote, limiting beliefs. They no longer serve you. They no longer define, hear this, who you are or who you want to be. That's what limiting beliefs are, right? They're no longer defining who you are. They're no longer representative of who you are. They represent who you were. Wow, that's big, right? So Neville Goddard says, again, here he talks about it, your opinion of yourself, your concept, or your identity is your most important viewpoint. You are infinitely greater than you think you are. Such a great quote. This is what he's talking about, right? That we limit ourselves based on our opinion or our concept, right? A single shift in identity changes everything. Yes, beliefs affect it. Emotions affect it. All of that affects shifting realities, but you can shift from the claim, from the belief, from the assumption that you now are going to see the world and see yourself from that new viewpoint. You can imagine, you can do an imaginal act, imagine a scene as Neville talks about, or you can simply claim it and assume it and believe it and walk in that belief. And that reality that's spinning around you, you will start seeing. It's only because we don't want to let go of who we are or who we were or who we don't want to be anymore to move to that higher version. This is what Neville talks about, rising in consciousness. That's the whole idea, to resurrect into that new person, that new man, as he says. Let the old man go, right? A single shift changes everything. Here you are with your desired reality spinning around you with all these others as well. You want that one, so you take on the viewpoint of someone who's already living and reveling in that reality. That's how it's done. So here's what I want you to try. Just be easy and light about it. This is just a first step. I've talked about shifting parallel realities in previous videos. Today I just want to talk about, to try this. Start by moving your attention to somewhere else and someone else than your current reality and your current version of yourself. When I mean someone else, I mean someone, another version of you, not another person, right? So somewhere else means a desired reality. Someone else means another version of yourself. Start shifting to that. Start be easy about it. Just start putting your attention on it, away from your current version of yourself, away from your current reality, to a desired version. What's that person like? How does that person see the world? This is how it's done, what you put your attention to. And what you keep putting your attention to becomes your reality. This is how, and what's going to start happening when you do this? You're going to start seeing synchronicities, coincidences. You're going to start seeing weird stuff in your reality, right? You're going to go, well, that's weird. What is that? What is it? It's your reality shifting. It's you intersecting with those other realities, right? Try it as a light touch, right? Don't try to make anything happen. Don't judge anything. Don't struggle right now with imagining something. Don't struggle with affirmations or processes. Simply decide on a new viewpoint, a new identity, a new reality. What's that like? And then start putting your attention there, lightly, softly, easy, a light touch about it, right? Make it fun, right? A light touch. And as you do this, you start to connect and resonate with that alternative version of yourself. You start resonating with that. You start seeing that reality. You're going to, and if you pay attention, right, not in a forced way, you're going to start seeing the hue change. You're going to start seeing some weird things happen in your reality, right? As you do, that parallel or alternative reality or other version of yourself will begin to spill over in your current reality. Will, not with, right? And you're going to see some spillover from those alternative realities. That's why sometimes you see, some of you have written me and said, I see some really weird coincidences, some things changing. That's what's happening, right? There's a spillover. But it's really a new reality and a mix of realities. So it's not, you're not in your old reality anymore. I know it mostly looks like it, but when you start seeing things that don't look like they did before and look strange or look like a coincidence or a synchronicity, that's you shifting. It's just that we dismiss those and we put our eyes back on what we think is, quote, real. That's what keeps you stuck in your reality, right? Be open to this stuff, right? It's really a new reality coming into perception. That's what synchronicities and coincidences, odd events, things that seem out of place, right? You could have sworn that was different, right? Could have sworn that was different before, right? That's what's going on, but we dismiss these things, these oddities, right? These odd events, these coincidences, these synchronicities. But it's you now perceiving other realities, right? Your perception's opening up. That's the spillover, right? Don't stress about it, right? Don't remember, just enjoy the weirdness, right? Let go more of the current reality. But don't try to let go. Don't make it a hard exercise, and don't ask, why, I wonder if I'm letting go. Those are the questions that keep you trapped in your own reality. I know it, you want to ask them. Am I letting go right? Am I shifting right? Is this weird stuff a different reality? And then once you ask the question, boom, you're back in the current 3D reality that you were actually shifting from. Do you see what I'm saying? It's when you ask that question, it jolts you back in to that 3D reality, what you would judge as the unwanted, right? That's how to shift realities for real. That's where dreams always come true. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen. Our website at tomkaren.com, at besomethingwonderful.com. Don't forget to like the videos, guys. Share them with your friends and family. Share them on your social media. Share the channel. Get the word out. We're growing, and with great love, with great light, with great gratitude and appreciation. Until next time.